So here we have the QiYi AoHu 5x5. This new 5x5 from QiYi. I'm rather surprised they didn't call it the X-Man whatever. Flare, Tornado, Ambition. What else could they use? Anyway, yeah, I'm just joking. Of course, it's not new. It's some old, probably rubbish cube from QiYi, along with a bunch of other old cubes you probably don't care about. So let's have a look at the QiYi AoHu. Now I'm quite surprised it's called the AoHu. It's quite similar to a lot of old Moyu names. You have the AoHun Megaminx and the AoHu, and then the AoHu GTS M and AoHu GT, which is cubic. Yep, but they're all outdated. Might be fun to get hold of an AoHu GTSM at some point, but the problem is 7x7s are quite expensive, so it's a bit of an investment in a cube that I'm only getting because it's rubbish. Well, probably not that bad, but rubbish compared to modern cubes. So, yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. I presume this was like 2015, 2016 sort of time. I mean, the corner cutting isn't terrible. No, it must have been 2015 or earlier, because like you have the WuShuang by the end of 2016, which basically was the best 5x5 for a while. And I think the WuShuang was the first 5x5 to corner cut 45, and this isn't that far off. This has decent corner cutting. And yeah, I mean, it feels quite a lot like a bunch of the Moyu cubes that Moyu 5x5s that I've tried, like the WuShuang, OutShuang, BoatShuang, all the weird 5x5s they've had. But yeah, maybe I'll do a solve on that at the end of the video. But let's get on to, yeah, let's have a look at the Yuxin Little Magic Skewb. I'm surprised I haven't tried this before, actually. Can't imagine it's that old. The Yuxin Little Magic brand, I think it was 2017, 2018 when they started that. And they're still sort of going, I think, with it. Like, they're still releasing puzzles under that brand. Unfortunately not very good ones most of the time, or not like competitive. But yeah, I mean, this is not a bad Skewb, but unfortunately nothing special. I mean, it's even got magnets or ball bearings. I think it's just ball bearings, I'm not sure, but you can hear the click. Clicks into place, so it's either magnets or ball bearings, and it's a decent Skewb, a decent budget Skewb. In fact, I might actually start stocking that as like a, hopefully like £8 or £9 Skewb option. Never really thought of that before. Okay, let's get into, yeah, let's do the QiYi 3x3. Okay, so I'm presuming this is from like 2008, maybe, something like that. It looks like a piece of absolute rubbish. Oh, it's a bit annoying that you've got sellotape in a place I didn't expect. Well, anyway, I don't care about the box. Right, okay, QiYi 3x3. Okay, yep. Yep. Stupid pamphlet. Right. So, yes. Let's just say I would not consider this a speedcube. No. Hopefully they wouldn't even dare suggest this is a speedcube. This is a piece of absolute rubbish, possibly slightly better than a Rubik's brand. I mean, yeah, it's just absolute junk. Yeah, genuinely. I mean, I presume this must have been 2008 or earlier, to think that speedcubers genuinely used cubes like this to get decent times back then is just weird to think about. Like, it's terrible. Absolute junk. Right, okay. Yeah, let's try the YeuXiao Pro M. So this is one of the cubes from like 2018. I didn't get hold of at the time, but probably should have done. So I want to try it now. And yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be decent, just like the MGC V2 or whatever. Most of these cubes are. Most cubes from 2018 were decent. Maybe not quite up there with the best today, but like even some people still prefer them. So yeah. Yeah, this like feels fine. This feels like a decent cube. Pretty much, yeah, I could pretty much get my average on this. Corner cutting, oh, it's not perfect. Bit of a block spot in the corner cutting, but probably be changed by tensions. Yep, it's a decent cube, but it's probably out of production, and there are probably quite a few other cubes. But yeah, I mean, it's got a quite interesting, like, snappy feel to it. Let's have a look at the mechanism. Yeah, pretty standard mechanism, nothing special. Yeah. That's squared off corners. How easy is it to twist? It's not too easy to twist a corner. Yeah, okay. Decent cube. Probably pretty good for its time. But it's not that much to say about it, really. It is a decent cube, but I don't think it's going to compete with like GuoGuan 12. But finally, we have the YuXin Treasure Chest. Now, the reason I got one of these was I just wanted to replace the old broken one that I have, which doesn't really turn properly and just, yeah, it doesn't really work at the moment. Yeah, this one just doesn't really work. It's a bit of a shame, really. I think they're just not that well designed, because I think it's a brilliant idea. And funny story about this. In fact, I'll actually wait and unbox it first before I get into the stories about it. But yeah, like, so you push down on the center, and then twist it, and then you can hide something inside. So what could I hide? I could hide. So yeah, what can I hide? I can hide the Cube Lab 1 centimeter cube inside. Probably fit, what, like 10 of them inside? Just goes to show just how ridiculously tiny that thing is. Right, so put it back on, screw it back, I think it's this way I have to turn. And then, how do I get it back up? This is one of the issues. I mean, how do I actually get it back up? Because I remember getting a screwdriver out and forcing it up, but maybe that's why it started breaking. So, but yeah, I mean, ultimately I think I'm going to have to just force it up with a screwdriver. There we go. But yeah, it's a fun idea, and yeah, you can't, so you can't push down on that white side. And what everyone thinks is that you can't push down on the white side if it's not solved. But actually, you only have to solve one layer. So I'm not even going to do F2L like I normally would. I'm just solving one white layer. And look, it still opens. So it's not quite what everyone thinks it is, unfortunately. Which is a bit of a shame. And it would be nice, I think, if it wasn't like that. But yes, interesting story I heard from someone at one of the churches I visited when I was looking for churches in Loughborough. Her boyfriend at the time proposed to her using one of these by just hiding a ring in the middle and going on a long walk, asking her to solve it, and then lo and behold, a ring is in the middle of the cube when she was told to push down on the white center and then twist the cube. So yeah, if you want any ideas, that's how you can do it. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting puzzle, and so far it hasn't broken, so hopefully it will stay that way, but I don't have high hopes, and that's why I don't really sell them regularly. Although, if this does work for a while, I may consider selling them again on my site, although I suspect they're out of production now. It would be great if somebody can make a decent one of these that was durable and you actually had to solve the entire thing. In fact, I suspect what you could do is you could also make it so that it has to be a certain scramble to open. And like, if you had it so that it had to be a particular scramble that you could then just remember, and whenever you wanted to open it, you would solve the cube first, do this scramble without anyone looking, and then it's like, well, only you know that scramble, and statistically the odds of anyone finding that one scramble are so absolutely remote, like, it's just statistically never going to happen. Like, if you do 20 totally random moves on a cube, statistically the odds of anyone ever having seen that scramble before are over 1,000,000 to 1, are less than 1,000,000 to 1. So it would work quite well if you just had a random scramble on a cube lock. It would actually be quite secure, although there's probably all sorts of design issues with that. But if theoretically you could have a well-designed cube lock, it would probably be more secure than a lot of other locks in many ways. But sadly, I don't think this quite makes it, because yeah, you don't actually need to have it fully solved to open. You just need the white layer solved. And it would be interesting to point out, like, if this girl had known that or whatever, it might have been a bit different. But I presume they just assumed, oh, you have to solve the entire thing, and did so. Anyway, let's get my Cube Lab 1 centimeter cube out. And what else could I hide in here? Put the ideas in the comments below. Actually, wait a minute. That could be causing problems, couldn't it? Let's screw it back on in the right place. Yeah. So, does my QiYi timer work today? After all its water damage, let's find out. Very, very faintly. You can see it actually says, yeah. I think ultimately what the problem is, it never actually turns itself off, so the batteries just die. Yeah, it just doesn't turn itself off, so the batteries just die, and it's just got a very faint screen. So I'd have to replace the batteries again if I wanted to use it every time, which I'm not willing to do. So instead I can use the YJ timer, which I haven't tried to throw off a cliff and drown in water yet. It might be coming, YJ timer. I might want to throw you off a cliff. Okay, are you prepared? No, please don't throw me off a cliff. I'm not as durable as that QiYi timer over there. Okay, that's not terrible, I suppose, for a bad cube. Although, yeah, I need to improve it 5x5. Competition next month, haven't I? Well, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe. If you want me to stock any of these cubes, let me know. Obviously these two I am definitely not going to stock, but these three I might. And obviously you can get your Cube Lab 1cm cube and maybe one day hide it in your YuXin Treasure Chest. But for now, you have a lot of other cubes you can buy, including the Cube Lab 1cm cube.